It's Tuesday on YourView. Welcome to the show. Sorry we're starting a bit late. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. White get in the building. Looking nice and yellow.
Meanwhile, I met an old woman at a party on...
An old woman met an old woman. Go ahead.
I had to quickly say that one. I don't know her name, but she loves you, Morayo. She said to her daughter, blah, 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 blah.
I love you too, ma.
She was really, really excited. Loves the show too. But my banter today is concerns Morayo.
Okay. YK.
See my mom.
And old age. You know how she has been making fun of me?
Yes.
And saying, menopause. She's coming.
Wow. I'm far from you, YK.
Last week, she ended the show at 10:20.
No, I did not.
In the middle of the show, okay, see you tomorrow. And I was like, Now, today, she said, what did you say?
I didn't say anything, YK.
Just asking for the day.
Just asking for the day.
Today, Monday or Tuesday.
And there was one other thing. He said, are we ending now?
The
show is ending at 10. The show is ending at 10. Really? I didn't get the memo.
She's not taking her 40 plus.
She's not taking
YK, you're taking a jab. I'm taking a jab. I will catch you in front. I will catch you in front. I will catch you.
First or two, no they pay.
Amaka Fresh.
Hi, darling.
The freshest of them all. Fresher. How you doing?
I'm fine, oh. This weekend there, Christmas never reached. It was packed. Boom. I was saying, Christmas has not reached. Let's not die before the Christmas. That's in December. Wait now. So but out of went for Timmy Alabi's son's wedding. On Sunday, we celebrated a great man, one of the good men. Tina Electronics, correct man. Odogu Cable, a good man. May God continue to bless you, uplift you in every way possible.
Amen.
And to my father's best friend that we lost over the weekend, Uncle Sonny Wokede. May you so rest in peace. You were such an amazing uncle.
Nice.
And my darling, you look good.
Thank you. I was in Akure for the weekend.
You were.
I went.
You were in Accra too?
Yes, I was there as a vendor.
I saw you dance.
So they did not do the vendors well. Me, I'm talking from where I came. I did not go as an ambassador. I went as a vendor. I had to dance to lift the energy. So I just felt like they didn't plan properly for the vendors who came. Their events were so packed, so jam-packed. Even the visitors did not have an opportunity to go and see the stalls to buy anything. Many Akurians did not know that anything like that was happening. Because when I got to Lagos, some fans from Akure were calling me that they saw my post, so are you still there? We didn't know anything was happening. So they could have done more to ensure that the people who paid for their booths actually sell so that they don't feel bad. I spent a lot. I flew myself down. My assistant and everything. Yes. Down there, hotel, yes, there is. Hotel and everything. So, for business, it didn't pay me at all. So they should do better for next time. But me, I'm done. But it was, generally, I think it was a good event.
I'm sure it's a yearly thing.
Yeah.
They'll probably give you for free next year.
No, I won't even.
You should compensate.
I
think, yes, just like you said, yes, there was a lot of emphasis on receiving the guests from abroad.
Yeah, but the people who paid for booths, you did not make provisions for them to be able
First
to
year,
sell.
I'm sure it will get better. They'll learn a few mistakes and they'll definitely take it.
And I've learned something as a business person. I will not jump into fairs that have not given me a track record of 5 years. You learn every day. Let me give them time to sort out themselves before I carry myself.
You sell in Velabino.
So let me know now. I'll be coming.
Wait.
How many years?
I'll be coming, actually.
This is track record you're looking for. We
Yes, I'll be coming. Next
We don't need YK to tell us. Just carry our wares.
And just go.
Like they can't chase us.
That's true.
Let's go on a short break. We're already running out of time. It's going to break. We'll be right back with the paper review.
Stay tuned. YourView will be right back.
Okay, well, let's start with the nation this morning. Tinubu excited, experts optimistic over the 3.46% Q3 GDP growth. Why federal government is borrowing by Edu, FIRS boss and Bagudu. Rivers. Amewe-led assembly moves to repeal Commission of Inquiry Law 1999. Southeast hosts 268,000 IDPs in 158 camps. Shatima Abbas, First Lady, intensify push for gender equality. Federal government requests MDAs to accept youth corps members. And legal giants, OK, Supreme Court's voiding of National Lottery Act. Okay, which story are we starting with?
I could start with the major headline. So President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is excited by the nation's Bureau of Statistics, that's the NBS third quarter report, which puts the gross domestic product, that's GDP growth, at 3.46%, higher than 3.19% of the second quarter. Experts yesterday expressed optimism on the figures, and it showed clearly that the non-oil sector, with 94.9% contribution as the driver of the GDP growth. The experts said the development is indicative of gradual results from the bold reforms of the federal government. The GDP is a monetary measure of the market value of all final goods and services produced and rendered in a specific period by the country. So President Tinubu's excitement was made known by a statement by his special advisor on media and public communications, Sunday Dare, after the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics released the quarter three figures. He's quoted the president as saying, "I'm excited by the latest report from the National Bureau of Statistics that our economy grew in the third quarter more than last quarter and even beyond projected estimates. While I welcome this development, the latest figure also shows that much work needs to be done, and we are going to be doing it." It says, "We won't rest until Nigerians feel the positive impact in their pockets and experience a better living standard. My administration remains committed to the welfare of our people." And he said, "My administration has not and will never forget the promise of 1 trillion economy. That's $1 trillion economy by 2030. So they mentioned the top contributing sectors to the GDP in quarter three. Agriculture contributed 28.65%, ICT 16.35%, trade 14.78%, manufacturing 8.21%, crude oil 5.57%, finance and insurance 5.51%, and real estate 5.43%. When I saw the data, I was like, so even the crude oil is not even at the top.
Yeah.
So this is showing us where we need to lay more focus and emphasis on. Agriculture is there, trade is there, manufacturing is there, and other things. Well done.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Vice President, Kasim Shettima, our First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajudeen Abbas, yesterday all called for concerted efforts against towards the gender-based violence, gender-based violence, actually. Other Nigerians who were there were lots of he for she's. Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun was there. The Minister of Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande, quite a number of others. Even our rep from here, the Federal Constituency, representing Koshofe, lawmaker Kafilat Ogbara was also there, amongst many others, at the HID Awolowo Foundation Advisory Council. And they were there trying to advocate continuously for against the gender-based violence, saying that it must be a collective effort on all parties. So the Vice President said yesterday in Abuja during the HID Awolowo Foundation webinar in commemoration of the 109th posthumous birthday of Chief Hannah Idowu Awolowo, wife of the late Premier of the defunct Western Region, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, said he called for the renewed national efforts to create an inclusive society inclusive society where women are empowered to lead and thrive. He said that every nation's treatment of women serves as the ultimate maker of its civilization, which is really, really crucial for development going forward.
So the Youth Development Minister, Olawande, has assured youth corpers that they'll be receiving their 77,000 allowance very soon. He also stated that, that the federal government has mandated its agencies and parastatals not to reject National Youth Service Corps members posted to them for their mandatory one-year service. He said that they've been getting reports that most parastatals and agencies have been rejecting some of these corps members. And, we know that some time ago they banned youth corpers from being sent to private sector. But now we're excited to learn that that ban has been lifted. They can now be sent to parastatals, oil and gas, banks, different sectors, because the whole point of this is that they should be able to gain experience in whatever field of study, for them to be able to have gainful employment after the Youth Service Corps. Yes.
Okay. Mike, you have a story in Nation?
I do, but I copied it wrong. I took a picture of it wrongly, so I'll just start with the beginning. The Southeast holds 268 IDPs, 268,000 IDPs in 158 camps. You know, there's a severe humanitarian crisis in the southeast, and it has left 268 persons internally displaced. Wow. This was said by the Deputy Speaker of the House, Benjamin Kalu. He was lamenting at a conference in Abuja. He says that there is lack of water, healthcare, education. He was talking at a round table event. And you know, I was surprised because I didn't know.
You hardly hear that in
you hear it in the north, but you don't hear it in the east. So
okay, let's go to the Punch. Federal government plans more troops as sect spreads in north. Customs seized 558 million contraband in Ogun. US-based Nigerians back 30-year jail for $3.5 million romance scam. Pensions have outperformed my predecessor, says Adeleke. 2025 budget, 13 states commit 3.8 trillion naira to salaries and others. EFCC places Obaseki on watch list, probes contracts. Jackpot workers on federal government payroll resigning amid probe, says head of service. And labor protest, NBS drop in unemployment rate report. Let's take one story before the break. Go ahead.
Okay, so the Nigerian Customs Service Joint Border Patrol Team Sector 2 Southwest has announced the interception of contraband goods valued at 556 million naira over the past 4 weeks. Now, they said the seizures included 816 bags of foreign parboiled rice, 802 kegs of premium motor spirits, we know them as petrol, and other illicit items. The team's coordinator, Deputy Controller of Customs, Mohammed Shaibu, revealed the details during a press briefing on Monday, and it's listed other contrabands that were seized during the period. It said 285 bales of used clothing, 61 jumbo sacks of used shoes, 674 kilograms of cannabis sativa, and 8 used vehicles. And he said the duty paid value of all the seizures made over the last month was about 556 million. And additionally, 802 million was generated from the auction of the PMS. So they had to sell out to the PMS because they couldn't store it because it was inflammable. And he said that they had arrested 2 individuals on, because of some of the goods that were seized. And there's an ongoing effort to curb illegal migration. And they are also going to be arresting. They said they had arrested 34 illegal migrants who were subsequently handed over to the Nigerian Immigration Service for prosecution, among other things that they had recovered.
Okay, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing The Punch. Who has another story?
2 Nigerians, Anthony Ibeki and Samuel Anyuku, have been sentenced by United States federal jury to 30 years combined jail term for defrauding some U.S. citizens of $3.5 million. Yes, they were involved, the jury were involved in deceiving victims by telling them that they have inherited some amount of money, substantial amount of money, and that they needed to pay them some money to be able to release their inheritance to them. I don't know that people still fall for these things. Yes, I can't believe it. Follow. And they also noted that they carried out romance scams, whereby they'll create romantic relationships with people. They'll go on online dating platforms. They'll go on social media, Instagram and everything, create a relationship with you. Then they'll start asking you for money, come up with stories that they are dying, they're in the hospital or something like that. And then the victims will send them money. They had other accomplices that will be sentenced December 18th, that joined them, that were accomplices to the crime. So people should be careful. I can't believe that in 2024 people are still falling for things.
You already know about these things now. You'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Surprised though.
Okay, Governor Adeleke, that's Governor Ademola Adeleke, that's of Osun State, said on Monday that his administration has outperformed his predecessors. According to him, he has disbursed over 47 billion naira in gratuity payments to retirees since taking office in November 2022, surpassing the combined report of his immediate predecessors, that's former Governor Rauf Aregbesola and former Governor Adegboyega Oyetola, who paid 34 billion naira over 12 years. So according to him, I was speaking at the event in Osogbo where bond certificates worth about 1.9 billion were being presented to pensioners from the state, local government services, and Adeleke emphasized the administration's commitment to addressing the challenges facing pensioners. I remember during the request for last time, there were quite a number of pensioners that said that he wasn't paying pensions. So he's saying that I've paid much more than they have all paid in just 2 years. My administration has paid 22.6 billion naira for state pensions and 25 billion for local government pensioners, bringing the total to 47 billion. This means we have paid almost 70% of what the previous administrations paid in 12 months in the last 2 years. So at least,
so
aside from dancing, he's paying pensions. That's
a good thing.
My story is about the JACPA workers, the civil servants JACPA workers. The head of the civil service, Didi Wilson Jack, said that she has denied that the probe has stopped. She says the probe is still going on and that it's not being swept under the carpet. She said because the president had directed that they start to probe these civil servants, what they do is they will relocate and still continue to collect their salaries here. And as if they're still working.
Yeah.
So the president said they should probe it. So what has happened is now a lot of them are rushing back here to either take up their jobs again or they are resigning honorably. So she says she's saying that no.
Yeah, because I heard like CBN and some banks are now even giving people that went on study leave for so long and stuff, they're now giving them retirement packages.
Yeah, just be going from there.
Yeah, they're changing a lot of things. I'm happy about that.
It's good because I think it's so dishonorable.
Yeah.
You be working there, working,
and then you're collecting salary.
And then you on Twitter, you're abusing government.
Yes, so abusing the country.
They are government now. Civil servants are government. Don't forget.
Yeah, the government. It's true.
Yeah.
Listen, they are Nigerians like us.
My staff cannot travel and say they'll be collecting salary. I won't them.
Bloodbath in Benue as terrorist strike. Abia pensioners cry out over 9 months unpaid pension. Emeka Offor donates 10 houses worth 200 million naira to widows in Anambra. Auditor General's report, Lagos Assembly probes indicted MDAs. Absence of Judge Stolz Nnamdi Kanu's 50 billion naira suit against the federal government. Catholic Church procession turns bloody in Abia as 2 worshippers die and many injured. And federal government asks varsities to establish sexual assault referral centers. Okay, which story?
Yeah, so 2 persons were on Sunday confirmed dead, while many others were injured following an overflow of worshippers during a procession at the Christ the King Catholic Church, CKC, Aba, in Abia State. The procession titled Christ the King's Sunday is celebrated in the Roman Catholic Church at the Lutheran Church on the last Sunday of the liturgical year as a feast to mark Jesus Christ's messianic kingship and sovereign rule over all creations. So they said that during the procession organized by the Catholic Diocese of Aba urban parishes within the city, a lot of people came to the CKC premises along Asa Road to perform the yearly rites, and the procession was very, very full. They had a mammoth crowd, over the premises, and as a result of that, they said 2 aged women, slumped inside the premises, and by the time they were rushed to the hospital, they realized that they had died. So the women who were of the Holy Cross Parish, Aba, were believed to have died as a result of the suffocation that happened. They said many others slumped during the event. There was also another account that said there were up to 30 persons that slumped during that event. So they're trying to see how they can, first of all, they've reached out to the family of the victims that died, trying to see how they can, make amends in that regard. But they're also saying that they don't need all of them for subsequent celebrations, all of them to come to that particular parish. They can do it at their different parishes to avoid the mammoth crowd that usually comes together, because every year there are always people that would faint, but it's just, this is the first time that 2 people were dying from that particular celebration.
It's sad because I'm Catholic.
That's right.
Yes, so through the Touch Life project, Sir Emeka Offor Foundation donated 10 sets of 2-bedroom bungalows to 10 indigent widows in Orifite, Ekusigo local government area of Anambra State yesterday. That's huge. The beneficiaries were handed over the keys to the houses, which are fully furnished and worth over 200 million naira. Yes, this was commissioned by the wife of Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Mrs. Karimatu Mohammed Ali Patin, company of Governor Chukwuma Soludo, who spoke at the event. He said that he pledged that the enforcement of laws against oppressive practices in Anambra burial laws, including forceful shaving of heads and not letting women have the right to their properties, will be stopped and has been looked into. Yes. He also promised to contribute to the widows' upkeep through their various cooperatives. So yes, I'm from Anambra and from Onitsha to precise, and I know that the burial practices, a lot of things has been stopped. So I'm really proud of the governor for that.
So the federal government has called on universities to set up something called the Sexual Assault Referral Centers. It's been SACs to address cases of sexual harassment and ensure timely interventions within the university communities. The Minister of Women Affairs, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, made the call on a national summit on sexual harassment on tertiary institutions. She specifically said that, described the sexual harassment as a global menace and a pervasive violation of human rights, particularly against women and girls. She emphasized the effects of sexual harassment transcended physical and leaving survivors with emotional and psychological wounds and scars. The minister highlighted the present administration's commitment to zero tolerance of sexual harassment, especially in the universities. Moving on quickly to Daily Sun. Bloodbath in Benue as terrorist strike. I think I took this already. Okay.
Yes, we have.
Yes,
Vanguard.
You took it, so I was going to take the bloodbath in Benue, the headlines. Over 30 people were killed by invading terrorists in Benue State, in 2 local governments in Benue State. And the correspondent said even as he was writing the story, they were still killing people. Over 300 militia, they were terrorists, and they were disguised as headsmen. And the local government chairman was saying that they didn't look Nigerian. They came in from Nasarawa, but they looked slightly different from us, and they just killed people. They said 20 people killed on Sunday, 30 people were injured, 10 people were killed in Katsina. So it's a really terrible story, really terrible story.
Vanguard, GDP growth figures, more work needs to be done, says Tinubu. MIME condemns smashing of Chevron pipelines in Delta. FG to National Assembly, we borrowed based on our approvals, on your approvals. 2027, opposition parties maul Granite Alliance against APC and Tinubu. Southwest lawmakers resolve to lobby governors. Southeast, sit-at-home persists despite Simon Ekpa's arrest. And only said drums support for Iguavon to lead Super Eagles. Okay, which story are we taking?
We could do the federal government, saying that they had to give insight into why they had exceeded their revenue targets and they were still borrowing. So they said that National Assembly, people are telling us, but we borrowed because we approved for us to borrow. And we borrowed because we needed to be able to show up the deficits in the budget. That's why we're borrowing. And then they listed all the things that they needed to do with the monies that they have borrowed. That's a long story. But then they talked about the fact about our passports. You know, now when you go to collect your passport, you get it very easily. So the government had to partner with a private-public partnership. And they had realized that from the deal they signed, the private people are taking 70%, while government coffers just get 30%. And so they are trying to have a review of that to see why they are shortchanging Nigerians. They should not be shared in that manner. So they would give us more details on that at the end of the day. But however, it's very fast now when you go and apply for your passport. You get it very easy.
That's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, we'll start with our special feature from Bastion Health. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So joining us to discuss technology, which is the theme, the past and the future of political action, Africa, is Executive Director, Enough is Enough Nigeria, Okpeyemi Adamolekun. She's going to be talking to us about an upcoming conference. Quite exciting times. Welcome to the show.
We missed you.
You've been very active. Enough is Enough has not stopped. You know, it's been a while. We've known about EIE, and you guys have been very consistent. Well done to that.
Thank you.
So we are here about this conference that you're going to be addressing technology. Tell us about this new conference you're working on and why technology when it comes to issues of governance.
So we started in 2012, and then it was just new media and governance.
Right.
And that was the first time, I think it was the first conference of its type in the world where people were looking at how new media was being used in governance issues. So mobilizing people, education, then Twitter, Facebook, and all of that were just coming up. We took a break, and then in 2016, we redesigned it as a Pan-African conference. So it was now biannual, so we now do it every 2 years. And it became New Media, Citizens, and Governance. And we added citizens because we say they're the nexus between the tool of new media and governance outcomes. So fast forward to 2024, we now realize that with advances in technology, like artificial intelligence, that we now needed to add that to the conversation. So this year, for the first time, it will be called Technology, New Media, Citizens, and Governance. And it's just to really talk about how citizens and government use technology and new media. People tend to think of technology and new media from more the citizen side, but there's also the governance side or the government side of how they use it as well.
So what can attendees hope to gain or expect to gain from participating in this event?
Well, just really education, networking. So the format of it is what we call the demand and the supply side. So the demand is how citizens use it. We're tweeting, we're complaining, we're creating apps to track gender and sexual violence. We're creating apps to report police brutality. And then the supply side is how government is using it to ease e-governance. You can register for your voter's card online. You can register, you can do taxes online, make payments online. How are both sides using technology and governance? We're lucky we have two ministers, the Minister of ICT for Nigeria and the Deputy Minister for ICT for South Africa. And we have speakers from Liberia, from Kenya, from Ghana. So it's truly Pan-African. Well, little caveats. We didn't do well with Francophone countries. So let me confess.
Yeah.
So
Maybe the language barrier.
we just went intentional about deliberately finding
them
speakers that are Francophone. So all our speakers are Anglophone countries, Ghana, Liberia, Kenya, South Africa. So we're sorry to your Francophone viewers.
For next year now, you would
Yes.
For the next
intentional
2 years.
about
2
it.
years, in 2026. We will do better.
Okay. So how can individuals or organizations register to attend the conference? Is there like a deadline for registration?
So we're actually maxed out on our physical capacity.
Oh.
But people can certainly join online, and because it's a hybrid conference. Some of our speakers actually won't join in online. So we encourage people to do participate. Professor Yemi Oshibajo is giving the keynote address, and he's always a good speaker. He's a good, he has a good
Orator.
way of mixing. And interestingly, we found him very apt for the conference because he has a history in academia. He's a professor. He's worked at state level government. He's worked at federal government. He started an NGO at a point in time, and he was also in the private sector.
Yeah.
So he's worn
Perfect.
all these hats, and that part, and the essence of the conference is bringing those different communities together to talk about it. The website is newmediagov.ng.
Okay.
Okay, YK, you have a question?
Okay. Can you tell us more about the pitch session for content creators?
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. So one of the challenges we find with governance content is that it can be quite boring. Go and vote, hold your leaders accountable, pay your taxes. And what we find, though, is that people, obviously, we say in the midst of so much that's going on, Nigerians will always find a meme, will always find something to make us laugh.
Yeah.
And in the last few years, we've seen the rise of skits makers, content creators. So we're thinking, let's provide an opportunity for them to help us make governance content interesting. So we're partnering with MI's organization called Task, and we're just opening it up to content creators to come and pitch what their idea is on justice and prisons in Nigeria. And we'll give the top 2 winners an award, cash prize, and also the opportunity to feature on TV.
How much?
And the rapper Black Bones has actually also joined, and he will be there as a judge as well. So we have 3 celebrity judges, which will be fun. How much to be announced on Thursday? Conference is on Thursday, so we find out on Thursday.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask you concern, because when I heard about technology, sometimes it comes across as we're saying, how do you report violence, report the police, report just report everybody. But is technology going to also help us appreciate what government is doing at all? Because sometimes it's always one-sided, like, let us just totally bash government. I always try to intentionally look at the side of the government. Like, there are some silver lining here and there, and those should be highlighted. So with this technology, also do that side of highlighting what government could be doing that is positive, that could help.
Certainly, and that's what we're calling it demand and supply. So the demand is usually how citizens demand governance, but we're also giving government the opportunity to say how they are supplying it. So Lagos State is actually a case study. So we have the permanent secretary from the Office of Political and Civic Engagement, and she's coming to talk about how government is actually engaging citizens on that side. Now, you're right. Citizens tend to use it in a demand way, but there are a few times where technology is used in a sense to complement what government is doing. So artificial intelligence is big, and the scope of what AI can do for citizens and for government is also new, and also for good and bad. Right. And we also want to talk about that as well, that technology is a great tool, but it's not a tool we should just be like, oh, open and let's do whatever. Yeah. Regulation is needed. Education is needed, so people also understand that it's not every video you see or every picture that you see that is true.
Yeah. So with what you're saying, is this event is it specifically targeted for government or policymakers, or is it open to everybody?
It is open, and that's why I used Prof's many hats as a benchmark. So he's an academic, he's worked in private sector, he's worked in government, he's a citizen, if you want to use that, and he's also worked in the civic space. And this year, for the first time, we actually have the private sector we involved them intentionally. So they're actually sponsoring a panel. Okay. Because ultimately, it's the private sector that creates these tools. True. So what role do they play? And especially also what role do they play in terms of safety and how their tools are used to make the world better rather than harming people.
Can you give us a few of your key panelists for the event?
Oh, certainly. So I've mentioned Professor Shibajo, who's given the keynote. Bosun Tijani, Minister of ICT. Deputy Minister from South Africa. If I pronounce his name, I might not do justice. Okay, Deputy Minister from South Africa. Shola Bumishashure is the PS from Lagos State. Okay. We have Enyo Kumaho from Ghana, who's founded a company, actually, which is working in the private, so it's a private sector company working with civil society to create a tool to allow civil society actors to work together with government in a more collaborative way. Off the top of my head, let's see Gbenga Sheson, who's been in the IT space in Nigeria for maybe 20 years. We have Muriah, who's founded a demography project in Kenya. Richard, as well, from Kenya, who's also working on elections and civic engagement. So quite a mixed bag of speakers.
So tell us where, time, we can show up.
So it's in Bagada, it's on the mainland. We're talking about, it's on the mainland, it's in Bagada in Lagos. As I said, we're maxed out on physical space, but please join us online. It promises to be really exciting. Website is tech.newmedia.gov. Okay. Again, tech.newmedia.gov.ng. Sorry, tech.newmedia.gov.ng. And it starts at 9 o'clock.
So I was talking about civil society, because one of the things we always complain on this table is that NLC is usually an organization that comes open when issues of subsidies or issue of what's the other one they do? Salary, the wage, that's where we see them. But sometimes civil society comes across as combative, when really there should also be, there's some human interest stories that we don't see much of them. We see the NGOs do that, but civil society doesn't really come up to do other things. So, and I see you've been very consistent when it comes to Office of the Citizen. Tell us, what future do you think civil society should play? Because I always talk about how our democracy is progressing, and we are at a point where citizens must begin to participate, not become spectators anymore. So civil society, citizens, how do we become more effective going forward and more responsible in development of our country?
The biggest thing is education, in my view. Unfortunately for us as a country, for a lot of people, democracy equals elections. So we get engaged every 4 years because that's when there's a lot of noise, go out and vote, get your card, and that's where there's a lot of attention. But in the 4 years in between, which is what you're talking about, that you engage and you participate, we don't see as much of that. Again, because there's nothing in Nigeria's structure that really teaches what a democracy is. We sort of expect people to understand what it is, know what they're supposed to do with it outside of elections. On elections, we're very clear. Go out to vote. Is your duty, is your this. We're clear. But after that, how do you engage? How do you participate in what's happening in your community? Local governments are now being given more autonomy. Local government elections, for example, in Lagos State are next year. In this year alone, I think we've had, after the judgments, we probably had like 15 states do quick back-to-back local governments. So it's much easier, rather than focusing on federal government or even state. Your local government is closer and smaller area to manage. And then the hard work of organizing. So people we need to keep educating people. And then the other side of that is also sharing positive stories. And you alluded to that earlier. How do we let people know that engagement works? Because unless we share those stories. So if all the stories we're sharing is police did this one did that, that one did that, it's a problem. But if we yes, but if we're able to share a story of a community got together, they went to see their local government chairman, and a road was fixed, or a school was renovated, it also communicates to people that they have agency and power. So we need to do both sides, I think, in amplifying media and helping us amplifying positive stories, and civil society in also doing better with the storytelling of what works.
Well done. Wishing you the best on Thursday. So it's on Thursday. The venue again, Bagada?
Thursday, this Thursday in Bagada. It's called The Zone. It's next to UPS.
Okay, yeah.
And we'll have Miss Morayo moderating one of the sessions. So come see Morayo. If you want to come and meet Morayo.
Come and catch her there.
All right, so fantastic. I'm really excited about my panel because I'm there with Ayo. I think I'm somewhere else.
Tolu from... So we have the three, as I call them, three of the powerhouse women in media. Oh, wow. So Morayo from TVC, Ayo from Arise, and Tolu from News Central. Yeah. So we're quite excited to have them.
All right, let's go on a short break now. We'll come back, continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So on social media, a caption went viral, and we thought to discuss it on Your View, because according to the caption on social media, it said that President Tinubu's government's being cash-strapped is the reason why the National Identity Management Commission says that Nigerians must pay for a new multi-purpose national identity card. And according to the head of card management, Mr. Peter Ewegu, he said that payment was to ensure that was produced for only those who needed it. And it was quite specific, only those who needed it. According to Mr. Peter, he said that in the past, they actually produced 2 million cards for Nigerians for free, and they didn't show up to pick it up. So he's now saying that going forward, if anybody wants to pick up the cards, they have to pay for it. But the caption on social media said, because the federal government is cash-strapped, you have to pay. And it goes back to social responsibility, because we all want to clicks. And then we have these captions and we try to misdirect and misinform. But what are your thoughts on having to pay for a national identity card? Do you think they should enforce the payment, or do you think it should still be for free, but there should be some kind of a way to ensure people pick it up? Because the reason why this is being done is because people did not pay and pick up the 2 million cards that were printed prior.
These 2 million cards that they didn't pick up,
yes.
Did they alert the people that your card is ready? Come and
almost
collect
assured.
Good question.
Because me, I know that I applied more than 10 years ago.
Wow.
For my own national ID card.
Okay.
I've been waiting for my text.
Whoa.
For 10 years.
Did you go to the office?
I didn't go to the office.
That is not
when I asked them, they said they will send me a message when it's ready.
Till now.
Till now.
See, there was a time, YK, when that initial application, many people they were not reached out to because there was a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
You know, when this happened in Nigeria, when you register, there's that initial confusion. But over the years, people have somewhat been able to go to the NIN office and get their cards. Even my grandma, Momo, she's going to be 100 in December. She has her own card because we went to the office and they got somebody to give her a card and we got her text message and we picked it up. So, yes, if it's 10 years ago, I can totally agree with you. Absolutely, there was confusion. But eventually, they were able to iron out all the issues, and then those who have applied have gotten their card. However, let me come to you, BC, on this. What are your thoughts on this matter? Should we pay for it?
I don't think we should pay for it. I think it's part of government's responsibility to make sure that they number their people and have the first identification. We pay for driver's license. We pay for every other thing. For a national ID card, I don't think we should pay for it. It's part of our taxpayers' money, right? Part of government's responsibility to just number their people. That's one. Secondly, the fact that people did not pick up their cards is not just the fault of the people, it's also the fault of the government. And that's where we need to begin to clean house. Which people are responsible for this? Which data do we have to ensure that when these cards are printed, the messages are sent? You have been waiting for 10 years and you did not get a message, and somebody come and blame you that millions of people did not pick up their cards. Who is in charge of sending messages out to the people that your cards are ready, giving them designations where they can go pick up their cards? They don't all have to troop to the office to pick it up. It can be distributed in banks and all of that. That's secondly. Thirdly, I really do not understand why we need this particular card. We have plenty cards that we don't know what to do with. At the end of the day, the government still doesn't have our proper data. Only us have NIN. Only us have BVN. Only us have an international passport. Only us that have driver's license. We have different forms of identification, and yet the data is not synced. Why are we printing another one? I would like them to give us a breakdown of how multi-purpose this particular card is. Will it nullify every other card that we have? So you just know you have your national ID, and that is like the Oyibo people that have their national security number, or that's what it's called. And it nullifies every other thing. So once you put that number, your data is out and everything. Is that what this card is for? Or is it still another card that will add to the collection of cards that we have, and yet the government doesn't have our data? So this is 2024. We need to be intentional on how we do things so that we are not constantly wasting money. Even if they say people should pay for the cards at the end of the day, that government cannot fund it. But what is the essence of this national card right now with everything that is happening, including all the other identification that we have?
Let me attempt to answer your question, because I always say one of Nigeria's biggest problems is the middle class.
How?
Because middle class always travels abroad, and they know that in the America is one card. So because they have that information, they now come to Nigeria with that same mentality. We should only have one card. Unfortunately, realize that there are two different places. Now, in the Americas, I say, this man will buy a house. Now, come 20 years or 30 years, he's in that house. If he moves to a new house, somehow you're able to reach out, because there's a documentation of he moved from point A to point B. First of all, you enter Lagos, you start with uncle's house. You use the uncle's house for address. You now go to auntie's house. From auntie's house, you use the house for another address. And then you now get married. And something happened, you now relocate to Adamawa. We have no track record. Not because government doesn't want to know where you live, but the address you put when you're in your uncle's house it was when you applied for the NIMC. Now you have moved 3 states to one place because you are looking for greener pastures within Nigeria, and we can't trace you. Now whose
fault is that we can't trace you?
From all sides, because really a serious citizen should be able to notify government. I have moved, though. This is my new address. That's what those people that in that your country that you like. They will communicate to their government.
There's no orientation for that, Murayo. We don't have it here.
It doesn't happen overnight.
Oh, wow.
I always say it doesn't happen overnight. You're going to tell that man, woman I selling Boli, that just came in from Ondo State the other day, moved to Lagos to set up a Boli, that, go and tell them at local government that I moved to Lagos now. Whose business is that? She doesn't care. How much she wants to feed. With a different orientation, because they're in a different country, different culture, different system. So we can't assume that, you have one card. I'm not trying to justify. I'm just trying to make you understand, see the reality. It always looks really nice on paper that, in one country is one card. But here, it doesn't work like that. It's going to take us a while to get to the point.
17 cards.
So I'm not saying you have 17. So what we have, you have your passport. Every American has the passport.
Yes.
Driver's license. Let me finish. I'll let you finish.
Okay.
Number 2, you have every American too has a driver's license. They have the social security number. You also have maybe your NIN card.
Okay.
Now, BVN is for your banking.
Okay.
Because many people have committed fraud. There's the issues we're having with the North, where people are doing, we're having a Boko Haram, we're having people transacting, kidnapping going on. And we're saying, have BVN so that we can trace your money, we can follow the money.
Okay.
It's part of the BVN.
So, okay, go ahead.
Then what else we have? That's after BVN and what else you have?
Then
Voters card for voting.
Then this national ID card.
It's the same. That's NIN. This national card is NIN.
No.
It's NIN.
We already have NIN now.
It's the national card. National
NIN
is national. It's the same card. It's not a new card. It's the same card. Is this NIN card? You have the NIN, but there are many millions that don't have the NIN.
We have NIN. We don't have card.
NIN. We don't have the card.
Some of us have cards. Some of us have enough numbers.
Oh, you have card?
I have card.
Where did you get card?
I went to the office to pick it up, and I lined up like everybody else, and I waited for my turn, and I got my card. Yes, but Nigerians want to in their house and let them call you to go and pick it up like in London.
How do you know that the card?
I sent a text message.
Exactly, she didn't get a text
And that is how, because she applied 10 years ago.
No,
if you applied a year ago, you're not going to get yours.
No, that's not true. Can I talk now?
Please, come inside.
So before I talk, say my own opinion, I want to answer Mariah. Mariah, I disagree with you what you're saying, because that before now, where the women used to still travel and set up their Akara joint and set up we had yellow pages. We had how in this Nigeria we had the
before
we did
the explosion of.
But Mariah, let me talk now.
Please,
it's my turn.
Go ahead.
So where you can still know where everybody lives. Where if you're looking for Morayo, I can write a letter. I know with the right letter.
Yes.
If they reach where it's supposed to reach.
Yes.
You know they miss roads.
Yes.
Do you understand? So I want to believe that with technology, things are meant to be better.
Yeah.
The government is able to sync. Every day they will say they are doing sensor. We still don't know how we are, how many we are, what we are doing, the budget, whether it's budgeting, where it's getting to, story up and down. It's a shame in 2024. And it's not the duty of the citizens of Nigeria to say that something that was given free before, that because people did not pick it up. Did you reach out to people? Till tomorrow, I did not get
What did they say? Yes.
Let me start tomorrow. Now, let me talk. That till tomorrow, I did not get any text message, and I did not apply 10 years ago. They're saying that they have now collaborated with banks. When I even did mine, I had to go to Zenith Bank to
banks
do mine.
They're not getting themselves right now.
And banks now, at some point, now refuse to even print the matter. It is not bank's problem or bank's issue. It's the government's issue to make sure that by having an ID card, that there's representation for their citizens both in Nigeria and abroad. They should be able to sync the data. How many numbers do we want to have? They should be able. We're in 2024, the age of tech. Not be perceived with the tech now. Just come up for this place where they are supposed to like sync, take your international passport, BVN, your NI, do everything, sync it in one, and then give you that unique number. Yes. You will not be carrying, when you want to fill a form, they say, put this number, put that number, put that number.
Yes,
they don't even confuse me.
And exactly. Oh. And you're sure
I don't know which number.
You're drinking your plus.
And I'm drinking my plus.
When we talk about Nigerians living in the city, we talk differently from the woman that is in Ede, what's her name? Nima referred to yesterday. There's a woman that doesn't really care about your banking. She's fine with her collecting money, doing her job. She's fine. She doesn't want to enter the bank. But you see, that woman needs health care. She'll be sick tomorrow, and we need to go to cater for her health needs. But I don't have access to her. Now, somebody tells her, well, please go and apply. You need an NIN so that we can actually ensure that your data is captured. Then she has about 20 children or have different people living in the houses. You are saying that your people are that we should be able to capture people's data. Go to somebody's house just next door there. Say all the residents in this house should come out. 100 will show up. 100 people in that house.
In which house?
Yes.
Wait.
Just a message from somebody in the UK. Say we don't use ID card in the UK, but a card like NIN is free. Identity card may be seen as an avenue to abuse into citizens' privacy.
I always tell Nigerians. If you want to start comparing Nigeria to UK, please rewind UK for like 100 years or 200 years first. No, we will. Because in some circumstances, we need to be very realistic on where we are. Our education level is different. Our literacy level is different. We are different levels. Yes, we are very, very different. So let's not pretend as if everybody, the person that is living all the way in Kafajam, is the same person that is living in Lagos. They are two different people.
Excuse me. I just want to take. I know that people who have bank abroad, when their card expires, when in their bank, their card expires, they have, as long as their address is correct, bank don't send
message. Card.
Not message. They don't send the card.
New card.
To your house.
Yes.
I didn't know that my card had expired. I went to go and use it. I just poked the people here. Your card has expired. I said, oh. I now looked at the card. True. The bank, they have not told me till today.
They don't know that your card
has expired. They don't know. They don't know the card has expired.
And they collect money from you.
This is bank that they have technology, they have chemical, they have chemical, they have this, they have that.
Human beings
So that is just our bank. Now, let's even talk about the bank. The bank says they don't cry. Now all those those small banks we not go office, but then they rain.
Yes,
the fintechs, now then they rain. The banks. Your money there, you go hook, your thoughts go hold. So that is the one that is even private. Now we come to government.
Hey, I'm not now.
I want to go to, because Amaka talked about yellow pages. Yellow pages.
Like you cannot
When I was a child, when I was 18, when I was 15, I have friends abroad that would go to the post office and the post. I'm sure people have never seen it. One blue email like this. When you want to write to the abroad, go write letter, go to the post office, or you will see those red box. You just put your letter.
It speaks and it's delivered.
You go just fly, go abroad. Your reply go come. Today, the post office is not working. I've not seen. In fact,
the post office woman was here the other day and she told you that they're very effective. And she was here on this show.
You see that woman?
Yes.
I wish I was here that day. I watched the show. I watched the show. I was just looking at her. That, what? What? Me? About 2 years ago, I got a letter from the abroad. They come and say, you have to pay 1,000. For that? Hey.
She's coming to help to sanitize the system.
She has a lot of work cut out for her. She has a lot of work cut out for her. I can tell you that one. Without.
Let's Obiajiri respond to me.
A little to Morayo.
I just wanted to help her. I
always say Nigeria's problem is the middle class, because your problem is that you have traveled abroad and that exposure is forcing you.
I am not the only one that has traveled abroad. The leaders are always going abroad. Every 2 minutes they are there to take paracetamol, they are there to smile, they are there to chat.
Stop this narrative. Stop this narrative.
It's not a narrative. I'm saying the fact. That's the truth. They have traveled to their abroad more than me that managed to save my money and go once in a while.
Exactly.
So they should know better. Number one, the UK and the US that we are calling, when they started building and making things open for their people, they had nothing to compare. They were thinking with their brain to get their people to where it is, and everybody was working hand in hand. Now, we have like an example. We have someone to compare. And because of the kind of brain that we have, we should do better and faster. So the excuse of, don't compare. But you're always there. You enjoy the systems when you go there. You enjoy their schooling system. Your children are all over in the schools. You cannot come here and replicate what you have there. You come here and you keep your own. Anyhow that you like it, because you have an option. If there was no option, will you not do better here for your own children?
Exactly.
Let's call it what it is.
Obiajulu, apart from that, we have example. Here alone, the brain where we get, the brain to do yahoo.
We're smart people.
Do you remember a story we took here? Some 2 boys in Benue State that were making AK-47s. They were making
Go to Havana.
I said, instead of arresting those ones and locking them up.
Put them in the system.
Put them in the system.
We will not
You see, so we do not utilize the brain
we have.
that we have. You know, 2 people came to my office the other day. They even sent me to you. I forgot. They have spraying app.
Okay.
So when you go to party, they say because Mariah likes party that they will just the person you want to spray, you just go to the party with your phone. You do fair, and it's entering the person's account straight. Fair.
See? How would you get that?
If you want, like, let's say I'm having a party and you want to spray me, you collect my account number, and then you come with your phone, and you have the app on your phone, and you just be spraying, fair. It's entering my account straight, fair. Then we have even gone to, is it EFCC that arrested Bobrisky that time? They have gone to EFCC have approved. So that is the kind of brain we have. To suit, listen, Mariah, to suit our
own problems.
Let me see. I like where this conversation.
And last thing. That Daniel Boala, now you supposed to get that job.
Who's Wala? Who's
Daniel Boala.
Okay, for the communication.
For the communication.
Make it help the government.
Every time Mariah say we're immature. Mariah, we are not immature as a country.
Let me tell you why
we are not.
You know, I was just going to break. Let me tell you something. You see, when I keep saying that we're trying to, middle class is our problem, it's one of the problems, not the only problem. When Rwanda went through that genocide, and when they wanted to rebirth their nation, Rwanda that we know now is progressing. And they are progressing such that they are getting more enlightened, and they're opening up their markets to technology and to civilization, to that Western world that we see. How did they get there? They spoke their truth to themselves. Yeah. They acknowledged the pain, right? And so somebody who went to Rwanda at the museum, they have the pictures of all those who were killed. Yeah. It's right there.
Yeah. Who did
so
that?
What people do, the leader was able to get the people together to acknowledge and go to face. Good. I am sorry because I killed your child. I'm sorry because I raped your mother. You know, they had that painful transition. When a people are able to face with their reality, and they now become intentional about their development, we have missed that stage. So the point I'm trying to make is that to get Nigeria to the point where we don't have to keep comparing, or we don't have to keep comparing, where we can use our own brain to develop ourselves, is where we begin to believe in this nation. Okay. If we believe totally, inherently in the capacity of what we have in our country, you will see that we don't need to go and compare what they're doing in America. We will think by ourselves that we don't need multiple cards. We will know by ourselves. We will find those creative options. Because now we believe we are stakeholders in this thing called Nigeria. We will find the solutions for us. But right now, we keep comparing. I keep saying there's a danger in that constant comparison.
We will compare.
No, there's a serious danger for us. No, and not because for us. You are comparing.
And always there.
You are comparing to a country that has a different reality from yours.
But they are always spending our money there.
I can go to China. I'm not going to pick up their Chinese behavior. Okay. I can go to India. I can choose not to watch them. It is your choice. You go to America and you choose to take it because you choose. But why don't you leave America and then use your own reality to fix your own reality? No, I'm just telling you that picking up international examples are different.
This is not about picking up behavior. Yes. This is about looking for ease of doing things.
For your people.
Whether you pick China or you pick Korea or nobody cares. Ease of doing things.
Why do you go to the health
with the kind of technology that we have and the technological brains that we have here, why can't we get the small boys to teach us how to sync our data once and for all?
Employ the reform of the Yahoo boys that people have been prison. Bring them in, they should sit and give them computer, they should start working.
So I can't hear anybody.
So you have like your international passport and then you have like your one more ID card and that's it. Every day you go to the bank, you will submit this, submit that, submit this, submit that. You're the entire person.
That's not
you go
true.
That's changed.
Morayo, I can say that.
Do you know?
Wait, that's not
my nephew went to England.
You see,
he opened his account by phone.
The reason why the reason why we do this show is to change narratives. You see, there's a perception. That perception maybe 5 years ago, for 3 years, even maybe last year, could be real. Bring 10 different ID cards. But today is different. If you go to the bank, I'm telling you that things are changing, and I think it's our responsibility. That's what I was telling Yemi here. It's one thing for us to continue to castigate. Oh, it's wrong. It's bad. You need 10. Somebody was telling me the other day, oh, you need the way when you get to the airport, the whole there's no air conditioner. There's no this. I said, yes, it happened. But when I entered Nigeria the other time, I saw air conditioner. I saw that the conveyor belt was working. I saw that. But her own narrative, her own narrative is the Nigeria she knew 10 years ago when she left the country. And she kept going on with that narrative. I'm saying, I'm just a random person. I'm saying that there's a narrative. But we also must begin to be part of those who are changing the narrative if it is there. So if this one of open account is your ID card, you also have your NIN. I don't know what else you're looking for.
BVN.
BVN and NIN, yes, the two.
Please, I want to ask you a question.
It's an ID card. That is standard.
I want to ask you a question. Morayo, does every Nigerian have a phone? At least does almost every adult Nigerian have a phone? Because I want to believe that everybody now, no matter if it's a China, everybody is on the phone.
Yes.
Why is it that when I was coming back from Abuja, the man in front of me he checked, the airlines tell us to check in online. Okay. She checked in online. He had his boarding pass, that logo, the barcode. and then they didn't allow him to board. I had to step in. I had to step in and make problem there, and they let that man back. Why tell me to check in online if I cannot board with the boarding pass?
I get online.
In 2024.
That's not a Nigerian problem. That's an individual problem. That's a Nigerian problem.
I'm just trying to say that these are all part of the issues. The tech, sinking, is for everybody. Why are you frustrating people left, right, and center?
Let me take a call. Okay, let me take a call. It's been holding for a while. George, thanks for calling. Good morning, George. We think we lost George.
Good morning.
Oh, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Beautiful lady. I think I want to agree with the sister beside Morayo, the respect of different ID cards. We have so many problems with somebody who is about 75 years old went to the bank and forgot BVN number, and they were asking me how to go back home. If we have a single card, like in America, where security or whatever they call it, that we cover everything, Nigeria will progress. We create a lot of problems with different ideas in this country. Our senators, all of them travel abroad, and they come back here and just being party. We should think creatively to do things better for Nigerians. One card is enough for even like data license and everything. If they have one card, it will take everything normal for us. Thank you.
Thank you,
God bless.
sir. Thank you.
I don't have any problem. If you want to be going abroad, then go and learn from there. Just don't even go again.
Stay here.
Stay here.
Let all of us think of the solution.
They will small time now. They will go. They will not learn anything. They will just be going. Go and rent a house. Buy a house. Go and do this. Go and do that.
You know, when somebody travels abroad, let me tell you the problem with this our traveling abroad that you're talking about. You and I, did you travel to Uyo with us? It's part of this travel abroad. Somebody went and came back, built a world-class hospital. No doctors inside it. Travel abroad, go and build these high-tech things because you see abroad, they have this beautiful museum. These same people, leaders, go abroad and see, they'll come back and spend money. And we're telling you, we don't need all this infrastructure you're building. We need to eat because our reality is that we are hungry. So this you're going abroad, we see the trains, we go and build train. And I was wondering, what do I want to use train for? Right now, I need to eat. So we have to be very careful. That's why I keep saying, it's easy to just say, go abroad, copy and paste. It doesn't happen. It shouldn't work.
I didn't say go and copy and paste.
We should be
go and
able
learn.
to face our reality of who we are as a people. Understand yourself first. It's after understanding yourself, you know your own peculiar situation, and you now understand how your people can progress. Not by going to go and build a multi-million-dollar hospital.
Nobody said copy and paste.
Yes.
Nobody said copy and paste.
No, but that was saying
the guy that built that multi-million-dollar hospital should be in jail.
Yes.
Because let me tell you why.
He saw it abroad.
Everything you see.
You're telling me.
That's where wisdom.
Listen, these Nigerians.
Please, can I land this point? That's where wisdom and discernment comes into play. You need to first of all be in touch with the needs of your people. The problem we have is that our leaders are not in touch with our needs. So they go there.
Even their own.
They go there. They see fancy houses. They bring it here. They've not asked the woman on the street, what do you need?
Obiajulu, let me help you. Obiajulu, wait, let me help you there. When they won't come build house, they will build house without window.
Thank you.
They will build house that the window is so small, mosquito they fear to enter. Okay. In this kind of heat. The reason they build house without window there is because it's cold.
Yes.
Now, they will come here. They have seen the house abroad without window. So that's why we are saying, we are not saying copy and paste. We are saying go and learn and come and adapt it. My partner, he studied architecture in England, and he said the reason they even passed him was because he refused to copy and paste. He now started, he went into himself and started thinking like an African and started doing designs to suit Africa. That is what we are saying. That is
your ability, see, intelligence is the ability to take the knowledge and put it in practical terms.
Exactly, in your environment.
So to solve the problems of your immediate environment.
It's not about blaming.
It's not about saying they should not go or they should go. It's when you go, learn what you need to learn. You come here, understand the needs of your people, and apply it to the benefit of your people.
I have one more thing to say.
I don't want to miss this point.
Oh, yeah, quickly.
You see, this is where you've gone to exactly where I want you to be.
That's
I have traveled abroad, right? I'm a politician, eh? I have seen social security number and I've seen the one they have in UK, eh? And I said, let me come back to Nigeria and let me now give them ID card. Obasanjo tried it. People do not. People, in fact, there were issues of nobody showing up. Even here, this is our voters card. Go and pick, nobody. They couldn't even bother. Last minute, that's the ration. They were not extending it again. They're not picking. Nigerians really don't care because ID card is not their problem. They want to eat. So you because in your own mind as a leader, they need an ID card so I can identify everybody, so I can provide proper social amenities. But Nigerians don't care. Just give me food to eat. That's all they want. So you, without your NIMC in your mind, you think it just comes to Nigeria and just say, give everybody ID card. They don't care. And that's why you have 2 million people that have not picked up. That's why when Obasanjo tried it earlier, it failed. Because even some Nigerians were corrupt and they embezzle some of the money for the ID cards. The point I'm trying to make is that ideas are great. But you see, when you understand that in a home, in a household, people, you cannot say Mr. A has... it's difficult to identify A and B because of the peculiarity of a man who has 15 or 16 wives. There are different ways of how, there's a way you have to capture that family that is different for what your social security number is giving to you. There are different ways you have to be very creative. So I am saying again that let us stop expecting our leaders to copy and paste from abroad. Let us be.
Nobody is saying it. You are the only person saying it.
No.
That's what you've been saying. Don't they see abroad? Don't they see what they're doing? Can they come and do it here?
You are the only person saying that. You are the only person saying that because we are saying go and learn and come and adapt it to suit. Wait. If you must go, go and learn and come and adapt it. Don't go and come and build a house without that mosquito cannot enter.
Yes. So why should an Akara woman?
Sorry, Jerry, because you say it's normal for you to have referee in bank. Why is everybody going to the fintechs now? Because you just...
need referee.
5 minutes, you don't open accounts. In bank, they will tell you, go up, go down, go and bring referee, go and bring this, go and bring that. So,
that's creativity.
That's what we are saying, that's creativity.
They
should be creative.
You yourself can't be woman carry 4 ID cards and be moving around.
You're confused, you see now.
The Akara woman that's not educated will be confused.
Exactly.
You're trying to you're talking about that they want to eat the Akara woman, the woman from Ile-Ife. I said all she needs is just 1 card. One of her numbers, she put it on, is where she puts her money. And hide the thing, and then funny that when she goes to the bank, they say, Madam, she brings it out. With that, they can know where Madam lives, they can know everything about Madam. That is what it should be. Ease of doing things for your citizens.
Yes.
When nobody's talking about copy and paste, Nigerians are too intelligent.
So be copying and pasting.
Yes. They should go, like I said, they should go to the prisons, to those Yahoo boys they want to reform, all of them. They should carry them, give them computer, they should start thinking.
Let me something small, eh? You know why they don't go and pick up those many millions of cards? Because they don't need it. They already have NIN. They already have BVN.
It's the same NIN is the same card
I'm
now.
just saying.
It's the same card.
If we had one card. No, listen. No, okay, BVN. And
NIN, there are 2 cards.
International passport. They already have a form of identification. So to the average Nigerian out there, what am I going to pick this one up for again? Okay. If there was a sinking, where you know that when you go to the bank, you go to the schools, anywhere you go, they are asking for one particular card. You will not tell anybody. They know they cannot do anything without picking up that card. They will pick it up. So it's seen as a waste because they already have forms of identification. What are they picking again?
Wrap up, but you see, it's important for us to educate properly. There's only one form of identification. That's the NIN, right?
National ID card.
So that's the same thing. That's the national ID card. Now, what you have is passport for your travel, BVN for your banking. Now, why BVN is not synced with NIN is a different conversation. And then there's a voter's card for voting. There are 3 different types of job that they're doing. We can now debate...
driver's license.
Driver's license to drive. So you drive, you use to travel, you use for your bank, and you use for voting, and then the national ID card.
Tax ID. You have tax ID.
Let's go on the break.
Wait. When you go on the break,
and you
Resident.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. It's Tuesday. We have to discuss health. And so today we're discussing low libido or reduced sexual desire, which can affect both men and women. It is not unusual for a person's interest in intercourse to fluctuate over different periods of their life due to hormonal changes in age, stress. Joining us now to discuss more on this is Dr. Solomon Appiah, could be PhD. He's a biochemist and a pharmacognosist. I apologize for that. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you so much.
Please, he's from Ghana.
Good to have you from Ghana.
Tell him, our guest, your view is going Africa.
Yes, so we're going global. So I have to ask you, sir, this thing of libido, does age have anything to do with low libido? Because we have a 63-year-old woman here, and she's still very active at 63. I was still wondering, shouldn't you be going to church and worshiping God and praying and fasting for your children's children, and scabashing? But she's there getting busy in the other room at 63. So I'm thinking, why come she doesn't have a low libido? And what is does age affect this poor or low libido matter?
Doctor, please let me ask her if she's in the room with me.
You know that she's crawling and praying in the
right.
Whether I'm scabasting or scabasting.
Sir, go ahead, please. Answer my
Thank you very much. Age has a role to play in this libido stuffs.
Okay.
These are hormonal stuffs, that's got to do with the, male-female interactions. Now, let me start from the onset. If you pick the average age of women, the age bracket of 20 to let's say 40, compare that one to pensioners, 63 like we're talking about, naturally, you're going to have the older people having low libido, hormonally. They have hormones that are responsible. Sure, naturally. Now, with time, let's go to the biochemistry of this stuff.
Okay.
Now, and this is the entrance of our something, okay? And this is the flap. We have libido. This is about 8 inches from the entrance. Okay. I'm describing to you what brings about libido in the first place. Okay. Naturally, during foreplay, you understand foreplay, touching here and all that. This one will vibrate. Okay. As it vibrates, libido cells are adjacent to it. Okay. They will produce the fluid that will come and lubricate the place. Okay. And that will also give you the edge, the desire. Okay. So this is a natural phenomenon. Okay. Now, assuming that the woman 63 years or 60 years, even this thing have been vibrating for, if the person got married, let's say 25. Okay. This one has vibrated for the past 35 years. Yes. And it will not be as strong as the one that is 20 to 40. Okay. So though it will be, the foreplay will be going on, but the tensile strength, the vibration, the frequency are reducing.
Engine.
That's right. And so you're going to have it, reduced compared to the lower age.
Yes.
Good. Now, the second point is lack of foreplay from we the men. Okay. I've been watching Nigerian movies for some time in Ghana. We love Nigerian movies, of course. And most time, foreplay, before the movie or before you even watch it, they will pick some parts that are very sensitive, attractive for you to watch it. And that is what we describe as in foreplay. Assuming that, Maria, before coming, you're my wife.
God, please take it easy.
And I...
National television.
Please, no, continue. Please. I'm enjoying
And I just text you a message. A message.
Yes.
I'm coming home, my love. I can't still forget what happened last week. Just, example. Okay. Okay. And I'm coming to maybe after work. What will going through your mind?
Images. Yes.
Just, it begins with the mental stuff, communication.
Right.
Now, after coming home, I look at you. The Bible said the eye is the mirror of the soul. So look at her. Your widest smile. Don't blink your eye.
Hey.
I'm describing what the foreplay is. I hope so that
I
hope you so you can practice it.
Yes, practice it. Yes.
Then tell her that you love her. If God had not, created her, there was no need creating you the man.
Hey.
Where that will excite you?
We have died.
Then after going about
Nigerian men, this is for you.
Please now, can you let the man talk?
Yes.
She's enjoying the conversation.
That's right. So after this one for maybe 2, 3, 5 minutes, then the second point is in touching. There are senses you must touch to ignite these hormonal stuffs so that they can secrete that what I'm talking about. Now, when this one is done, the woman is prepared. The place is, lubricated, ready. But assuming that, I'm a man who I don't have that experience or that training. So when I was coming from maybe work, I saw a woman and my mind move on to the sigmoid, the back of your knee. That is your sigmoid. most sensitive attraction part in women.
Back of your knees.
The back of the, no, this is your knee, the back.
Yeah.
You know, the back of the,
Really?
where we have the, yes, center of attraction.
Really?
You can talk about, you know, the cleavage maybe later, you know. Men actually don't want things that you open up. No, just open part and leave the rest for us to discover.
Wow.
Those are the things that attract men. Now, let's continue. Now, once all these ones are in my head, you know, I'm coming in, the touching and stuff are going on. Because you are ready, and I've gotten time to prepare your mind, during the action, you are going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So no pain. But because I don't have that training, I will come at you like, you know, trying to, you know, chase a rat out of the hole. Because when, you know, my mind picks something, so before coming, all the hormones are already working now. So by the time I catch house, it's like, Agatha, where are you? Morai, where are you? Please, where are you? Because their mind already is wired. Are we together? So there is no foreplay. So you are going to begin to experience pain in the action.
Yeah.
So the next time, you know, I want to come on board, you are going to remember the pain you had, not the excitement. You understand? And that is going to even put a stop or, you know, negate this impact of, you know, preparing your mind and stuff for that. So all these ones comes into play. Now let me move to with the men. You respond to touch. We respond to what we see. Now let's explain for the men, you know, the mechanism of action. When this eye set on something that we don't have, so the Bible said, Adam saw Eve. This is the bone of my bone. Look at the words. The flesh of my flesh. You know, because Adam saw something on Eve that he didn't have. You get me?
Yeah.
And so we are talking about when we set our eyes on things that excite us, ignite the hormonal stars. I've talked about the cleavage, the back of the knee, this side, you know. Once we see those things, then information passes on to the brain. Brain, what am I seeing? Okay, I'm seeing some things. I must take action. Okay, that information relates to your heart. Heart, that part of the blood supply through the body, what we call genital veins. Those are the veins on our something. The more the blood rushes through the veins, the better the erection. That is for us, the bed. So anything that impedes the flow or that negates the pressure will lead to, you know, our something coming down, giving us even weak, and even for that matter, you know,
Doctor,
the urge to come in becoming slow.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we heard, and I don't know how true, maybe you use science to back this up.
Sure.
That a man's libido with one woman wanes over time. But that particular man puts him with another woman who he hasn't done anything with before.
Or a younger woman.
Or a younger woman.
Yeah.
The libido does not come down. So the excitement reduces, and that affects the libido because he's been, let's take for instance, you've been married over 30-something years, it's been just one woman, so it reduces. But then if you bring a fresh woman, it increases. Is it true?
It's a fallacy. It's not true.
Okay. Oh.
You know, we men are adventurous. Assuming that I've been married for 15 years, women must do things that are new. You cannot, for example, wear 190 for 1 week. 90 is not supposed to be worn for a week. It's for a day or two.
A day.
You know, tomorrow I'm going to meet my man. Wear something, you know, that will show my sigmoid. It's enough.
What is
sigmoid?
You know,
this back of the knee. I never heard it in my life. Back of the knee.
Yeah, back of the knee.
A man looks at it.
Sure. Now, next time I'm meeting my man, I'll wear something that will show my cleavage. You know?
Okay.
Don't open, just some part.
Yes.
Just a little.
Little. Next time, I'm still changing my 90 designs and stuff. You know, I'm showing something that will show, you know, my side, my wrist, and even my butt.
Okay.
So because you are changing, continue changing, the center of attraction will still be there.
Oh.
But in our case, it's become like, oh, my father is a pastor. My husband is a pastor. I'm a church mother now. Where are we going with this after what is life? No. Men, you see, the nature of men is such a way that
What is life?
yesterday we took watermelon, but today we don't know what watermelon is. What is watermelon? Is the color red or blue? Does it from
Every day, you want to discover new.
Good. So if a woman is able to do that, then the woman can really keep the man. Even before we come to the main action, which maybe because it's morning, I can't see so many things. Yes. But even in the action, there was about 12 different ways that will not affect the heart of a man, that the woman can employ to still sustain the man. You get me? And so it's untrue. Once you can be adventurous and turn it around, make us see something new. You understand?
But as a go ahead now,
okay. So I want to also ask, does sugar also affect the libido of a man? You know, in terms of because we hear all those things that sugar affects the libido of a man. The man might be attracted to you. They might want to be around you, hug you, but not actually go to the
Because the thing is not
because
going up.
yes. So does that play a role?
That one is true. This is the biochemistry of that. The sugar you have more glucose in the blood than expected because your pancreas are not producing enough insulin. That is the meaning. Now, Morayo, heavy things.
Hey, man, avoid sugar.
Like, why you call my name like this?
So I can walk.
It's only you that you know.
It's only you that I know.
Okay, go ahead.
So, if I put water hose,
Okay.
trying to wash car, and I suspend it like this, if the water is heavier, it will cause the water hose to drop down.
Yeah.
Yes.
If the water, the water, I mean the mass, is lighter, it can go straight or even up. Now, heavy things don't run faster. Now, because there's a lot of solids, as in glucose molecules in the blood, what it means that if you are flowing to genital veins, it's even going to rather add weight. And instead of the thing rising, make it rather fall.
Oh.
That is why taking medication related to what you have just said is already indicated that it's going to give you sexual something, weakness and all that. And so there's a link between, not even all that, even BP, it is indicated on those ones. Why are we talking about even, let's say for just BP, the blood pressure, let me give the auto-cutter system even, go deeper. Anything that will cause the blood pressure in the activity to rise above 170, God, in his own wisdom, created an auto-cutter system that is going to stop the blood flow for the thing to drop so that the man will not collapse on the thing.
Hey,
I want to give you the link.
So the ones that collapsed there, I know someone who died.
Yes. Assuming that somebody has taken a product, and the BP has risen to above 170, but because the person is still on that dose, you will see the 170. The body mechanism is that, maybe the vein can burst. You can burst for the man to collapse. So auto-cutter system, stop. We don't need the blood anymore. Hold on, please. Are we together?
Yeah.
Now, because you are taking something that is causing the thing to rush, whether it is 170 or not.
You want to fire.
That is why you go feel collapses.
I have to ask this question because a lot of people say that when a woman reaches menopause, she's no longer, the desire is no longer there. Is that true? And what can a woman do to sustain it? And is it possible, that's one question.
Yeah.
And is it possible for a man to, that's not a question first. Let me construct the second question.
Okay. You see, people that have reached libido, like I already explained, the menopause, it will be reduced. But not that it is not there.
Okay.
You understand? It's like having fresh apples. It's an apple. But putting it in the sun for some time, become dehydrated. When you're hydrated, it means that the texture, everything will not be as fresh as new. But if I should take that apple in the sun and put it in water, it becomes hydrated again. No,
that's what's happening to YK.
Good. We are talking about...
YK is being hydrated.
Yes. We are talking about, is that to do with hormones and nerves. So if I can do something that can excite you, I ask some men, do you know the sensitive spot of your wife?
Some don't know.
Many don't know.
Where you know you will touch, it will trigger her. If you have been married for 10 years and you don't know the area you can touch to trigger her, it's a who or hala. Even the girl can be 35 years and so suffering from low libido. You get it? We must know each other in that level. So I might know an area which I should press. Your mind or to trigger some things.
How would a man know? There's no book.
How won't you know?
You study the body.
You see, yours is touch. I've mentioned some areas. That if you take about 70% of women, it's either, this, not to like this, the tip of these oranges,
Okay.
Tip of these oranges.
Yes.
Okay. You can go through the dorsal ventral, the back, this side. So we have it there. Some also might have it during lip to lip.
Yeah.
Casing and all that, Some might even have it, when you touch their
Enough,
something
guys,
vibrated.
enough.
Are you together?
Okay,
Are you together? So the man should know to put a trigger so that the woman libido, you get me now.
Yeah,
We get you, doctor.
Why can understand you?
Another question I want to ask, because we keep seeing this narrative every time that men have to have intercourse like 20-something times for them not to have prostate cancer and things like that. So does that
true?
Yes, is that true? The amount of time you have, does that affect the swollen prostate or not?
Yeah, that is true. Let me give you the biochemistry of that. You know, what is the prostate? Prostate is a gland.
You don't hear?
Something a gland means something that squeezes water and brings it out.
Okay.
Now, our sperm is a cell. It cannot walk or jump. I mean, when male, female meet, they must swim. The prostate gland is the one that produces the swimming pool.
Okay.
And the sperm cell can swim from male to female. Fertilization takes place.
Okay.
Now, assume that I'm a prostate gland. I produce about 1 barrel, 2 barrels of my
like Dangote.
and you are not using it.
Okay.
It becomes chemical unstable. It's like putting water in a barrel. With time, you know, there are some growth and slippery stuff inside.
Yeah.
Why? Because of chemical instability.
Yeah.
Now, but if I'm producing water and you are using it, it means that we go to it, we go together. Are we together? Yeah. Now, that chemical instability, because we not, performing, is the one that causes the prostate to enlarge. Because chemical in the water that's being produced.
Gotcha.
Average in the whole world, couples 30 to 40. It is twice, maximum 3 times a week.
Wow.
Now, once we age 40 to 50, it comes once a week.
Okay.
Once you hit 50 to 60, 1 in 2 is pension, 1 in 3 months. This guy has been producing for the past 2 weeks, has not been used. Imagine.
No, we have to do it.
You understand? That's why the advice is that,
So, sorry.
Yes.
What if he's 70 and he's producing and he's not using, but he doesn't even have the urge, he doesn't have the libido, can it still affect him? Because obviously when a man gets older,
his wife may have died or something.
That is why prostate enlargement, BPH, is for 50 years and above. Now it has dropped to 40 years and even 35. You understand? That is why I'm yet to see a guy 25 years that has prostate enlargement. Even the person is cursed, it can't happen.
Okay, now let's go. Let's go because of time.
That's why we are saying that let the man, give the man chance. The more we are doing the man chance, the higher we are even, reducing the risk of the person developing.
Okay, when are you going back to Ghana?
No, 5 times a week. Oh,
when are you going back to Ghana? When are you going back to Ghana? We need a part 2 of this.
Yes, okay. I think it's going to be on the 12th.
Okay, so we need to bring you back. Because I think that there's so many questions. Because there are some men that help themselves privately. Yeah. Because they don't have, either because they don't have a woman or because they're having issues. How does that, is that healthy?
No, unhealthy. In a consulting room in Ghana, my hospital, people that have practiced that one, women's hands are soft, men, our hands is hard. Once you rub it on the area, it turns out the genital veins. It's like water hose go and step inside. And those people have problem with erection. Some even have erectile dysfunction. It's different from premature ejaculation. They are 2 different things. Because the veins that the blood should pass through has been torn out because of your own something that you did back room. You understand? So it's better that you go pray God to give you a woman, marry her, to help you arrest your case.
So what of those there are some pastors that it's as if they don't do anything because they always just pray to your God. No, that is bad. No, so the pastor woman is Mother Mary. Pastor father is Father Abraham. They just, no, don't do anything. No, we don't do.
You see, that's why you are not even fulfilling scripture. Because in your own Bible, it is written, the man shall satisfy the woman sexually, and likewise the woman. The scripture didn't use may. It said you shall.
Is it in the Bible?
Yes. New Testament. I'm trying to remember.
No, Songs of Solomon.
No.
New Testament.
No, that's your breast. Your wife's
breast one is
no, the breast one is there.
The
man shall satisfy the woman sexually, and likewise the woman.
You read your
See,
Bible.
The Bible didn't use the word may. It says shall. Shall means a law.
Yeah.
I was watching you when you were talking about national ID and all those things. It's a law. And so, why is the Bible saying that? Because there is something a man needs from a woman to have this brain working gently.
Functioning perfectly to make money.
So if the woman is not getting it, what should she do? She should divorce him. The woman is not getting it at all. What happens?
Oh, but it's even I know, but in Ghana, if you divorce your man for 6 months, you can dissolve the marriage.
If you are not fulfilling your
In
conjugal
Islam,
rights.
It's a law.
Background.
in Islam, I think it's 3 months. You can go.
Yeah.
Yes,
That is a background moment.
You see, and so why is that so? At the end of that kind of combination, you know, it's a hormone called oxytocin released from the brain that provides you a sense of calmness,
And
contentment.
happiness.
It can make like you and
Like that thing.
without any other problem. Then you are flying on the moon, sing a song. I'm flying on the moon, flying on the moon, flying on the moon. You know, it helps you forget all those wahala. You know, and that is, God actually provided this environment so that for we the men and the women, as adults, because why? He knows that there's going to be stress.
Yes.
School fees and all those things.
The man needs to calm down.
To calm down.
To make money.
To make money.
Oh, shit.
You see, in marriage, marriage is like ladder, you know. Ladder, you have one leg here, one leg here. The bridges that solidify the ladder is called, you know, there's something. You so queen. So the more couples have them, the higher the tendency that their marriage can last for about 50 years, 90 years.
Speak it into existence.
Hey,
The lesser this one.
Oga, your time has come. We have to go.
Yes.
We'll bring, you know, today is Tuesday.
Yes.
Oga, book us next week Tuesday.
Yeah. Here.
Our viewers, if you have enjoyed this conversation, we'll bring him back.
Yes, sir.
And we'll break it down because there are lots of people that want to hear this conversation. But we have to show them. So 3rd of December, keep it the date with us next week Tuesday.
Okay, thank you very much.
That's all we can take on today's show. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Mikey, are you okay?